ॐ हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापि हितं मुखं तत्त्वं पूषणपावृणो सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये. I welcome everybody to the Swadhyaya Jnana Yajna program by Academy of Yoga and Oriental Studies, Bhubaneswar. This is a lecture series on Gheranda Samhita by Dr. Indulata Das, Director, Academy of Yoga and Oriental Studies, Bhubaneswar. This is lecture number 47 on Gheranda Samhita. Today we discuss on Jalandhara Bandha. This is the fifth lecture of third chapter. Now, what is the real name? Whether it is Jalandhara Bandha or Jalandhara Bandha, because both the words are equally common, equally used in books. In Hatha Yoga Pradipika, for example, we find the word Jalandhara Bandha, Uddiyanam Mula Bandha, Tatha Jalandhara Vidah. In Hatha Yoga Pradipika 3.6, we find this word Jalandhara. Again, Jalandhara, if you find this word Jalandhara Bandha in Gheranda Samhita 3.1, Mahamudra Nabhamudra Uddiyanam Jalandharam. Here the word Jalandharam is used. In the same book, that means in Gheranda Samhita, the word Jalandhara is also used. For example, Jalandhare Krute Bandhe, this is Gheranda Samhita 3.12. Now, let us explain both the words, which one is correct. If both the words are correct or one of them is correct. Let us explain. Let us discuss. Number one, why Jalandhara? Jalandharati iti Jalandhara. The explanation of the word would be Jalandharati iti Jalandhara. Jala means water, dharati means to holds or blocks water, therefore it is called Jalandhara. It blocks the flow of water which flows from the palate. In Hatha Yoga Pradipika, we find the description how it holds the water or it blocks the water which comes from the palate. Badhnatihi adhogami nabhojalam. This is Hatha Yoga Pradipika 3.70. It is a yogic fact. What is adhogami nabhojalam? It is a yogic fact. Nectar oozes from the palate and goes to the navel and it is destroyed there. The place above the palate is called moon and the place near the navel is called the sun. The nectar comes from the palate and it goes to the, the nectar comes from the moon and it goes to the sun and it is destroyed there. By the practice of Jalandhara Bandha, the flow of water is blocked at the place of throat. Therefore, it is called Jalandhara. Then why it is Jalandhara? If Jalandhara is correct or not? Yes, it is also correct. Because Jalandharati iti Jalandhara. Here Jala means net. It holds or it obstructs the net. Therefore, it is called Jalandhara. What is the net? The net is the net of blood vessels or the nadis, Sira Jalam. In Hatha Yoga Pradipika, we find the description about this. Badhnatihi Sira Jalam. It holds or it blocks the Sirajala, it obstructs the Sirajala. Sirajala means blood vessels or the nadis. Whatever it is, it obstructs the blood vessels, it obstructs the siras. And siras which are spread like jala or net. Therefore, it is called Jalandhara. Now, technique of Jalandhara according to Gheranda Samhita. The description is like this. Kantha sankochanam krutva chibukam hrudaya neshat. This is Gheranda Samhita 3.12. Having contracted the throat, the practitioner should place the chin on the chest. This is the only technique described in Gheranda Samhita. The steps according to this description would be like this. The practitioner should contract the throat. He should press the chin against the chest. He should retain the air or he should block the air. He should stop the movement of the air. It is not mentioned, but it is understood. In the beginning, we have discussed that bandha means the block of movement of air. Therefore, it is called bandha. And it is also not mentioned whether the practitioner should sit or stand or what would be the position. So these are the steps. Now this is Jalandhara Bandha by or Jalandhara Bandha done by Sunil Kumar Devata. He is sitting and he is contracting the throat area, and then he is pressing the chin against the chest. This is perfect Jalandhara Bandha. Now we come to the benefits of Jalandhara Bandha according to Gheranda Samhita. In Gheranda Samhita, we find the description Jalandhare krute bandhe shodasadhara bandhanam Jalandhara mahamudra mrutyoscha khyakarini. That means Jalandhara Bandha closes the 16 supports of the adharas, 16 bases or the 16 supports or adharas. Shodasadhara bandhanam. Bandhanam means it closes or stops or obstructs. What does it obstruct? It obstructs the Sodasa Adhara. Sodasa means 16. Adhara means the supports or the bases. It blocks or it closes, it stops the 16 supports. Therefore, this is one of the benefits. And it is a great mudra, Jalandhara Mahamudra. As I have earlier told, the bandhas come under the mudras, and Jalandhara Bandha is one of the great mudras. Therefore, it is called Jalandhara Mahamudra. Mrutyoscha khyakarini. Mrutyoscha khyakarini means it destroys even the death. So, and about Sodasadhara, we will discuss in this lecture. We will be discussing it later on. Now, benefits of Jalandhara Bandha continues. Siddhang Jalandhara Bandhang yoginang siddhidayakang sarmasam abhyasa johi sa siddho natra samsaya. That means if Jalandhara Bandha is perfected, it gives success to the yogis. He who practices Jalandhara Bandha for 6 months, he attains success. There is no doubt about it. Here, the siddhi or the success of the yogi is described. What is the success of a yogi? It is Chitta Vritti Nirodha, and it is the final stage of yoga, that is to conquer the mind and thereby attaining the liberation. Now, let us discuss what is Shodasadhara. 16 yoga nadis emanate from this place. From Visuddhi Chakra, throat is Visuddhi Chakra, and there are 16 yoga nadis. They emanate from this place and resemble 16 petals of a lotus or spokes of a wheel. The vibrations produced from these nadis resemble the sounds of the 16 letters O, A, I, U, U, Ri, Lil, Ri, E, I, O, Ang, Aha. These are the 16 letters, the sounds of which are vibrated from this place. In Shiva Sangita, we find the reference. Suhemabhang Soropetang Sorasa Sorasanjuta. This is Shiva Sangita 5.90. These 16 spokes with 16 sounds in them are the characteristic features of the chakra, the Visuddhi Chakra. Adhara means support or base. Spokes are the supports or adharas of a wheel. These 16 spokes are the supports of the wheel of Visuddhi Chakra. When Jalandhara Bandha is done, there is a block on the 16 nadis. The 16 nadis are blocked temporarily. Now, a secondary interpretation of the word Sodasadhara, 16 places for meditation. This is not actually appropriate. The adharas that we are discussing, these are not the same adharas, but I am discussing it here because in some books, these 16 adharas have been referred to in context with Jalandhara Bandha. I am discussing it only to remove the confusion. Now, what are the Sodasa Adhara? This is mentioned in Siddha Siddhanta Paddhati, and these are the 16 adharas or bases or places for concentration of the mind. As we know, dharana, Chiddesa Bandhas Chittasya dharana. That means holding the mind at a particular place is dharana, and the place may be inside the body or outside the body. Here we find 16 places inside the body for holding the mind. So these are the adharas here, not the same adharas as discussed in the Jalandhara Bandha. Number 1, the adharas discussed here are, number 1 is Padangushthadhara. Tatra prathamang Padangushthadharam tatragatas tejomayang dhyaye drushtihi stira bhavati. That means the big toes. Meditate on light, eyesight becomes steady. Then Muladharah, Dityang Muladharang Sutrang Bama Parshena Nipidya Sthatapyang Tatragni Deepanang Bhavati. Muladhara, press by left heel, digestive fire increases. Then third is Udadhara. Trutiyang Udadharang Vikasa Sankochang Nirakunchayet Apana Vayu Sthiro Bhavati. That is Janas, stop contraction and expansion. Apana air becomes steady. Then Medhadharah, Chaturthang Medhadharang Linga Sankochanena Brahma Granthi Trayang Hitva Brahmara Guhayang Visramya Tata Urdhvamukhe Bindu Stambhanang Bhavati. Esha Vajrauli Prasiddha. This is penis by contraction. The sex fluid does not fall. It is also famous as Vajrauli. Then Swadhisthana. Panchamyodhyana Dharayoha Bandhanan Malamutra Sankochanang Bhavati. Swadhisthana also known as Uddiyana Pitha. Meditate here. Quantity of stool and urine will diminish. Then Nabhyadhara, Saste Nabhyadhare, Omkaram Ekachittena Ucharite, Nadalayo Bhavati. This is Nabhel, uttering Omkara with concentration, one merges in Nada. Then Hrudayadhara, Saptame Hrudayadhare, Pranam Nirodhayat, Kamala Vikaso Bhavati. This is heart. By retaining prana in heart, the lotus blooms. Then Kanthadhara, Ashtame Kanthadhare, Kanthamulang Chibukena Nirodhayat. Ida Pingalayor Bayuhu Sthiro Bhavati. This is neck. Press the neck by chin, air in Ida and Pingala will be held. Then 9 is Ghantika Dhara, Navame Ghantika Dhare Jivhagrang Dharayat, Amruta Kalapura Sravati. This is Ghantika Dhara is root of tongue, press the tongue at the root of tongue, the nectar flows. Then Talua Dhara, Dasame Talua Dhare, Talvantar Garphe, Lambikang, Chalana Dohanabhyang, Dirki Krutva, Viparitena Praveshayat, Kasti Bhavati. This is palate. Insert the elongated tongue into the palate, one becomes motionless. Then Jivhadhara, Ekadasam Atha Jivhadharang Tatra Jivhagrang Dharayat, Sarva Roga Nasho Bhavati. Tongue. Meditate on the tip of tongue, diseases are cured. Then Brumadhyadhara, Dwadasam Brumadhyadharang Tatra Chandra Mandalang Dhyayat Sitalatang Jati. Middle of the eyebrow, meditate on lunar circle, one becomes cool. Then Nasadhara, Trayodasang Nasadharang Tasyagrang Lakhyat Manah Sthirang Bhavati. This is nose, meditate on tip of it, mind becomes concentrated. Then Nasamulang, Chaturdase Nasamulang, Kavatadharang Tatra Dusting Dhare, Sanmasat Jyoti Punyang Pashyati. This is root of the nose. By gazing on it, one sees mass of light in 6 months. Then Lalata Dhara, Panchadase Lalata Dharam Tatra Jyoti Punyang Lakhyat Tejasvi Bhavati. This is forehead. Meditate on mass of light in the forehead. One becomes brilliant. Then Avasiste Brahmarandhrang Akasa Chakrang Tatra Sri Guru Charanambuja Jugmang Sada Avalokayat Akasavat Purna Bhavati. This is Brahmarandhra. Meditate lotus feet of Guru in Brahmarandhra. One becomes full like the sky. This is Siddhanta Paddhati 2:10 to 25. However, these are the first interpretation of the 16 adharas as Shodasadhara is correct. These are 16 bases of meditations. This has nothing to do with the Shodasadhara of Jalandhara Bandha. Then comparison with Hatha Yoga Pradipika. The technique of Jalandhara Bandha is described in Hatha Yoga Pradipika is like this. Kantham akuncha hrudaya sthapayat chibukang dudhang bandho jalandharakyoyang. This is Hatha Yoga Pradipika 3.69. The yogi should contract the throat and press the chin against the chest very strongly. This is the technique. The same as Gheranda Samhita. The similarities, both the techniques are same and there is no difference. Thank you for listening to this lecture. If you have any question, you may write it. I shall be happy to answer your